viewer specific queries. Just understand the market setup from your lens. We are also looking at the year end now. How do you think the market has actually placed or played itself out this particular year, and also what to look ahead, and what is on your radar? How are you looking at?
So good morning. Uh, Basically, the market is in a bit of a sell-off, I would say. We have a couple of issues out here. One is the geopolitical issues that keep raising both on tariffs as well as some ongoing wars. You have the rupee depreciation that has taken place quite swiftly. Uh, so these are competing factors. What I would say is that as of now, I would see that there are important levels. Maybe Hemen can throw some light on the levels, but I would see there are important levels that one needs to watch out for. And if they are breached, then we can see a bit more downside. So I would term this period as be very cautious, and I would not advise any leverage positions as of now till we have a clear direction of the market.
Got it. So that's the market view coming in at this point. But let's move on and get you all the queries answered then. And we have a live caller now joining us on the phone line. Let's welcome Mr. Khurshid here from Delhi. Hi, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please tell us what's your query.
Yeah, so I'm holding 60 shares of GM Breweries, bought it at 1190. My query is it advisable to buy more since it has dipped quite a bit at current level, to average out, or just hold as is?
Right. Mr. Kaparia, let me come to you for this one. 1190 is the price. Of course, they are sitting with some bit of loss. The stock is currently trading around those 1000 rupee levels. So do you think they should hold on to it for some more time, or should they book losses and get into another stock?
A very good morning to you, Kanisha. Thank you for having me on the show. It's always a pleasure. I have a feeling that one can hold on on the medium to longer term, at least on the long term charts. GM Brewery is unequivocally bullish. So it's a correction within our up move. So 980 is important support. That should not break. Assuming that doesn't break and we close above 1060, we should see some near-term technical green shoots. Long story short, hold. I believe we still have decent, if not good, upside left.
All right. So that's your recommendation as far as GM Brewery is concerned. It's a hold for you, Khurshid, out there. But then time for a short break. But then post that, a quick update. Dispute between the airport regulators and the operators of Delhi and Mumbai airports have taken a sharp turn after a July TDSAT order struck down ERA's draft formula from 2009 to 2014. Now, if the tribunal's method is applied, airports could claim more than 50,000 crore. ERA and Air Miles have approached the Supreme Court, which hears the today. Charu, our colleague, joins in with what to expect at the hearing. Charu.
A long-standing dispute between the Airport Economic Regulatory Authority and the operators of Mumbai and Delhi airport could soon result in shooting up of the user fees and ultimately the airfares for the passengers using these two airports. However, this is just a possibility, and a hearing in the Supreme Court today could decide the fate of these passengers. Now, what has happened here is that an order came on July 1st from the Telecom Dispute Settlement Appellate Authority, TDSAT, on July 1st. They said that the method used by ERA, that is the Airport Economic Regulatory Authority, to calculate the tariffs or user fees from the period of 2009 to 2014 was not right, and came up with its own method that says that the operators of these two airports are owed about 50,000 crore rupees. Now, this means that recovering this amount could eventually increase the user fees and ultimately the airfares, making it seem like the recovery is being made from the passengers that are using these two airports. Now, in order to avoid a situation like this, in order to avoid the cascading effect of the order that came this year from TDSAT, now ERA as well as some airlines are going up to Supreme Court, and the decision will decide what is going to happen in this particular case.
All right, so that's the latest we are picking up on the aviation sector. But with that, time now to slip into a very short break. We'll be right back and answer more of your queries on the other side. there, welcome back to ET Now. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now with me, Kanishka and Kavita. We are live from the SBI Live Studios. This is a show where we're taking all your stock-specific queries with our experts, and we have Shaina and Hemin with us to answer all your stock-specific queries today. So let's get back to the queries then, and this one is coming from Parth Anand, who has written to us from Punjab. He has shares of RT Industries at a price of 396 rupees and KNR Construction at a price of 163 rupees. Hemin, let me come to you. In both of these stocks, he's facing a little bit of a loss right now. What do you suggest? Should he continue to hold on to it? Are the charts looking good for, say, a next 6-month period?
So, Kanisha, if I look at RT Industries, it's in a downtrend on all counts. Short term, medium term, long term. It peaked in October 21 and November 21, and since then it hasn't done much. Currently it's oversold, so I suggest it's not very far away, but keep a stop loss of 367. If that gets broken in a weekly close, that means the downtrend continues. So not looking too pretty. I would suggest a sell on bounce. There isn't a revival or a reversal yet on the horizon. Being simply oversold does not amount to much. As far as KNR Construction is concerned, I guess once again, daily, weekly, monthly, all time frames, we are on a sell lower tops, bottoms. We are getting close to a congestion area, 140, 120. So not looking good currently. Things would change positively only on a weekly close above 190. I know that is slightly far away. So this also quantifies as a sell on bounce. Unless she had a time frame of 2 years, then we take support at the congestion, bounce back, then we review it later.
All right, so that's a take on both the counters. Let's move on and let's take a longer time frame query. And this is from Arjun. Shaina, I'll come to you. Arjun from Kolkata. He says that he wants to know the right time to buy Apollo Microsystems for 7 to 8 months time frame.
Well, Apollo Microsystems is in a very niche area, and I would believe that if you're a long-term investor, it does make good sense to get into it. In terms of price, the price at which you can get in, I would say it is better to get in at maybe and lower levels because valuations are expensive. But I would believe the opportunity for Apollo Microsystems from defense and the order book position is pretty strong. So yes, he can buy and he can keep adding a little bit of dips. To give you specific levels, I would say it is good to get in somewhere close to about 260, which is not too much lower from current levels, and then he can hold for targets close to about 290 over a 1 year period.
Got it. So that's the view on Apollo Micro. Moving on to the next query then. This one is, they have two queries. Vaman writing from Hyderabad. This is from the auto pack as well. Shaina, let me come to you for this one. They are looking at a time frame of 2 years. They want to know whether or not it's a good time to enter TVS Motor and Shakti Pump. TVS Motor is already at an elevated price, whereas Shakti Pump, they've seen quite a bit of correction, more than 40% if I understand correctly, for 2025 itself. But do you think the fundamentals are strong enough to buy the stock at this point in time for a 2-year time horizon?
Yeah, I would believe so. The correction has been pretty sharp, and they have got a very good order book position. I'm talking of Shakti pumps. They are in the solar water pump business, and the opportunity going forward is pretty strong. In fact, I would expect them to do growth of about 20 to 25% in the current year. So valuations now after the correction have become much more attractive. So I would term it as a it's a small cap, good long term pick. TVS, yes, one can keep buying it at dips. It's a quality management and it has given you a good performance. At the same time, I would say that the competition is pretty intense. Uh, Second half should be better. So yes, you can buy, but I suggest keep adding only at dips because valuation, I think, for TVS Motor is one of the most expensive in the overall group. So I would say if you want to pick up right away, then it could be maybe Bajaj Auto would be a better pick for the shorter term 6 months. But TVS Motor at dips for the long term remains like a decent bet.
All right, so Shakti, a long-term hold over there. But then as far as TVS Motor is concerned, it's buy on dips. And immediately if you want to buy something, Bajaj Auto is a better bet. Hemen, I'll come to you. And this is a question from Vijaya Kirti, Chennai. And this is about Container Corporation holding 400 shares bought at 1060 and incurring huge loss.
I don't have anything very positive to news to give him, Kavita. Same story. We remain under pressure. Things are not looking that great. I believe support comes in at 460. That's where one can expect some respite to come in. So, if you have the patience for a longer term, only and only then do you hold. Otherwise, I think once again, this is a sell on bounce.
Sell on bounce call for Concord. That's the word coming in. Moving on to the next query. This is Siva Subramaniam writing from Chennai yet again. He's holding Hindustan Copper 25 shares at a price of 325. He's been holding them for more than a year now. He wants to know how much can it go up, or should he sell since he can book a little bit of profit right now. Mr. Kaparia, what would you suggest? Do you think he should continue holding on to it? In the past 6 months or so, it has given a good nearly 40% return. So should he book some of his profit?
No, Kanishka, I think he should hold because very few stocks, except a narrow move, look as convincing as Hindustan Copper is. My positivity also stems from the fact that international copper is looking good. So this has to have a trickle down effect to Hindustan Copper. So I would say very clear hold. Yeah, it's in a intermediate correction. We need a weekly close about 365 for it to resume its uptrend. But yes, things are looking hunky dory even in the longer term charts. I'd say a pretty decent, if not a strong hold, Kanishka.
Hold on, Hind Copper. All right, it's time for a short break, and post that also we'll be continuing to answer to your stock-specific queries. So all you have to do is just send across your number, your question. The number is flashing on the top of the screen, and we'll see you after this break. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now Sell Now from ET Now SBI Live Studio, and we are answering your stock-specific queries. And China and Hemen are there as experts who are answering your queries live. Let's move on, and let's take Srijit's question from Kerala. And so it's a short-term call, I guess. Crompton Greaves he's holding for 280, and Hemen wants to know whether it should be a hold call and for what time frame.
Okay, Greaves Cotton has flattered to deceive, Kavita. A lot of positivity, and for the last 5 years, it's not sustained, hasn't done much. Having said that, we are in a short term, medium term, and yes, even a longer term downtrend. So, from a 6 month point of view, we are currently at 191. I see it going to 170 first before anything major happens. So, not very positive from a 6 month point of view. Things can change dramatically only if we take out 210 and 225 in that order, which seems currently a far cry.
Okay, so that's the view on Crompton Greaves. Moving on to our next query. This is John James writing from Germany. He says he's a regular watcher of Buy Now, Sell Now. So thank you so much for that. That really keeps us going. And his query is on Borosil Renewables. He bought the stock a few days ago at a price of 543. So he is sitting at some kind of a profit here. He wants to know, are the technicals and fundamentals both in place for him to continue holding? Shaina, let me come to you first. What about the fundamentals? Do you think he can continue to hold on for a longer time?
Well, see, actually, it looks more like a turnaround stock. Yeah, it is in a bit of consolidation, but I believe that they have got a good order book position. And I would say that, seeing the quarter numbers, things are looking up. So, yes, he can continue to hold. And I would say that he can look for maybe a level of closer to about 600, provided the consolidation doesn't see the stock, fall from here. So it is better to keep a stop loss. You keep a stop loss for the shorter term. There may be some bit of correction. Keep a stop loss close to about 540 type of levels.
So 600 is the target, I believe. And Mr. Kapadia, let me come to you. Do you think that target holds, or would you like to suggest another one, say for a 6-month period?
No, I think I'd go with what China says from a 6-month point of view. 4 years, the stock has consolidated. Looks very promising, hasn't done much. The breakout comes in at 685, and after that's going to move to $100. Currently, that's not on the horizon. I'd agree with what China say.
Let's move on. And Shaya, this is a question on HAL. And this is from Anup from Kerala. And he says that he's bought 100 shares at 4700. He wants to accumulate more and wants to know the exact levels to buy more and for what time frame would you recommend?
Well, see, we have had some, it's a long term, very good story, and it's got huge order book position. A large part of it is from domestic. Now they have got export orders, which we were actually banking on to see a good growth for the medium term. Now, that is, there is some bit of question mark on the exports that they could execute over the shorter term or medium term because of the small setback that we had recently. So I would say that better not to accumulate since he's already gotten at a higher price. Better not to accumulate at current levels. Wait for levels close to, if at all, 3,900, 3,850, 3,900 type of levels to add and to average his price. Otherwise, he can continue holding his current position or his current investments for 3.
Hi there, welcome back to ET Now. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now with me, Kanushka and Kavita. And let's go to all the queries then. And we still have Shahina and Himin with us. And there's a query on the hotels pack. This is Subramanian Padmanabhan writing from Chennai. He has Lemon Trees Hotels bought at a price of 96 rupees and Park Hotel at 150 rupees. He wants to know the outlook from a short to medium term perspective on these stocks. Mr. Kapadia, let me come to you. Lemon Tree Hotels and Park Hotel.
Park Hotels, the short-term outlook is negative. Low top, low bottoms. Yes, support comes in at 129. It is a major long-term support. But yeah, simplistic view from a short-term point of view, it remains in a downtrend. As far as Lemon Tree is concerned, it's been in an uptrend for the last multiple years, honestly, and it continues. So currently, we were in an intermediate correction, which is probably now running its course. Close above 170 should get it back on track with more traction. Short term, the outlook is positive. Medium term, it's a bit consolidative. Long term is positive.
All right, so that's a take on the hotel pack, but then let's move on. And this is again a query for 6 months. And Shaina would like to know if you can answer. This is on Anant Raj from Mr. Balaji from Chennai. And he bought it at 543 and wants to know if he can hold it for 6 months or maybe a longer time frame if you recommend.
Well, yeah, they're getting into a lot of news-driven upside. We saw on the stock a couple of months back. They're getting into data centers, and that will contribute a much larger chunk of their revenues in the next 2 to 3 years compared to their existing real estate. Having said that, I think it's in a corrective phase as of now. So I would say that it is better to exit. Book is it's a small loss. It's better to exit from his loss and then relook at it maybe closer to about the 500 levels, he can relook at it. But as of now, I would say better to book your profit loss, whatever small, and move out,
All right,
exit.
so it is advisable to book profits in Anant Raj as of now. But Shahina, another query for you. This is K. Narsimha Reddy writing from Hyderabad. They want you to identify 2 stocks, each of the mid-cap and small-cap space for a long-term hold. Which are your top picks today from the mid-cap and small-cap space?
Well, so let me go with a metal stock, GMM. Yeah, I will go with a GMDC. It's in rare earth minerals and doing pretty well. So I think there one can look at a 2 to 3 year long-term holding. They are getting into, they are expanding their reach across not only India. They are large player in mining, as well as look at international markets for rare earths. So I would think that is a good stock to have. We discussed another one earlier, Shakti pumps. The stock has corrected a lot. I think there the opportunity is good, and one can look at that small cap if you're looking at the longer term investment portfolio. And of course, the cap. If you're looking at large cap, it's good to be in the exchanges. So you have BSE, NSE potential listing in the next 1 year. You could look to enter into those stocks. So I think these are the composition of a large cap, small cap portfolio that you should have and hold it for 2 to 3 years.
All right. Other question is also for, it's from a fundamental lens that our viewer wants to understand. This is Bala from Chennai, and China, once again, I'll come to you. This is on the pharma pack. Bala wants to know that Strides Pharma, Zydus Life, good bets at the current prices for 1 to 2 years perspective.
Well, actually, I've not been tracking these two for some time now, so I'll let Hemain give you the technicals.
Sure. Any guidance, Hemain, from your end?
I think from a 2 year point of view, Kavita, Zydus looks better than Strides. Zydus is in a longer term uptrend, corrective. So if I have to pick and choose, Strides doesn't look that great currently. Zydus is in an established uptrend, so I think I would pick Zydus. Yeah.
So that's the view on Zydus and Stride Pharma. Moving on to the next question. This is coming from RK Ahuja. His query is on the public sector bank space. He says, after latest clarification from Finance Ministry regarding FTIs, PSP stocks have been falling a bit. He has quite a good exposure to public sector banks. He hasn't given us the names, but he wants to know, Shaina, let me come to you for this one. How much further down can they go, if you could suggest, in the short term, actually? So I'll come to you, Hemain, for this. In a period of, like, say, a week, how much more downside could we see for PSU banks, if that's what you are also penciling in?
So I'll let Hemain go first, since it's
Sure.
just a 1 week.
Sure.
Okay. So frankly speaking, there is some erosion. PSU banks, like I spoke earlier, State Bank, Indian Bank, Bank of Baroda, Canbank, nothing else has moved, especially the smaller ones. So, okay, yeah, there is very clear near-term pressure. There is no denying that. But they're still within the range. They've been hatching eggs for 6 months. I don't see that changing dramatically. And I don't think there's going to be a major breakdown. Near-term pressure, yes. So probably a week or two, the negativity should fizzle out.
Okay, and Shahina, what about you?
Yes, pretty.
Sorry, from the long term, your view on the PSU bank basket?
Yeah, so even a medium to longer term, I think the PSU banks do have strength. You have SBI, which is the largest, and I believe there the valuations are very attractive if you're holding it for the medium to longer term. You have some of the other banks like PNB, where the valuations are very attractive. It's just 0.4 times price to book. You have Bank of Baroda, which is very attractive. There also the price to book is below 1. What I believe is that while the government has said that yes, there is not going to be a merger in the next 1 year, they're talking of 2026. That was the clarification. If you're looking at the next 5 years, 10 years, yes, there is going to be consolidation. But the banks that we are talking about that are long-term investments, these are the ones that will actually have other banks consolidated into them and get stronger. So you could look at all this three if you're looking at a long-term perspective.
All right, so that's the advice on the PSU bank pack. But then with that, it's time up on the show as well. Thank you so much, Shaina and Hemain, for being a part of the show and helping our viewers strategize their stock-specific purchases. But then with that, it's a wrap on the show as well. But for more updates on the market and stock-specific strategies, stay tuned to ET Now.